Fellas, we just finished up week 3 of the Contender Series, and holy shit, I am down bad. I'm down so bad. I can't predict anything, man. These fights are obviously unpredictable, but holy shit, like this is just another level. We're gonna get into the main event eventually. We're gonna start at the bottom, man. We got all the way down at the bottom here. Oh, they did it backwards this week. That's fine. Anyway, we got Nick Galante defeating Carlos Petrozella via round 1 knockout. Absolute slime out, man. And you can see this one coming a mile away. Petrozella has had absolutely no competition over in his regional scene in Argentina. And Galante is training with some killers, man. He had Pfeiffer talking on his porch before the fight. His boxing is okay. And then goes out there and slimes him out in round 1. And it was impressive, man. I'm glad to see another American wrestler go out there and not American wrestle, but actually try and strike and put on a show for the Contender Series, man. Gets a well-deserved contract. Moving on. Ronald Humphrey defeats Alexis Miranda via submission. And you saw in the thumbnail image here, Miranda got absolutely fucked. Ronald Humphrey's an absolute killer. Goes out there and just beats the shit out of him. Miranda with the Mexican chin outlasts him, but man, is he bloody. He's got him on the ground. He's got him absolutely flattened out, head into canvas, laying on punches. This fight could have been stopped a minute earlier, but I believe it was Gary Copeland let it go, and Ron Humphrey goes in there and gets his first submission win out of 9 professional finishes. I believe it might be 5 professional finishes, actually, but he's never gotten a submission win in his career. It's only been knockouts, and he goes out there and gets the submission win against Alexis Miranda in round 1, 4 minutes and 3 seconds in. Another well-deserved contract. Now, we're moving on to Sean Clancy Jr., and I have a hot take on this one, man. Apparently, I haven't really read the general consensus on this one, but I don't think Sean Clancy Jr. did anything to deserve a contract on this one, man. The first round just kind of stood on the back foot. He'd throw punches here and there. He was making good contact with the body of Boleto. But Boleto looked like a tight underdog, man. It did not look like a plus 1,000 underdog versus a minus 2,000 favorite. So he was on the back foot the whole time. They were good, just kind of tapping each other back and forth. Nothing crazy happens. And then in round 2, Sean Clancy opens up with a takedown and laid on him for 4 minutes. There was about 4 minutes of control time. And keep in mind, Gary Boleto, he's not the most skilled guy. He's just kind of a random dude from Rhode Island. And I appreciate the effort that he showed in the first round. He was keeping it tight. But Sean Clancy Jr. gets the finish. Just 4 minutes in, able to just hug him enough to where he can get up to full mount and then just rain down punches. The ref kind of stopped it just because it was kind of sad to see at that point. And Sean Clancy gets a finish. I know he's 23 years old, man. He's got a lot of upside, but I think this is one that you bring him back and see what he can do. I don't think it was really par for the course for this show. But, I mean, he gets a finish in the second round and gets a contract. So, I'm excited to see what he can do. He's 23 years old. I don't hate him or anything. I don't think that he did enough to get the contract in this one. But congrats to him. Moving on. Another one. I don't give a shit about Guillermo Uriel, bro. I mean, what... Dana said it. His opponents combined were 9-0 leading up, or in the fights that he's lost. The fights that Piazon's lost were, his opponent's record were like 15-40. Why bring him into the UFC, bro? I mean, why bring him in again to get another contract? This is his second try, both their second try in Dana White's Contender Series. Uriel taking the, a DQ win last time that he was on, so there was nothing proved there. And there was nothing proved in this one, man. Piazon shoved his head into a choke and then refused to just let go, even though he was getting fully wrapped up. And then Uriel just locks onto it. They're both completely dry and gets the submission win standing up. And I don't think that this deserved the contract either, man. How many chances are you going to get? I know you can't really bring him back, but and he got a 50-second finish. But what did this show me? Piazon just threw his head into a choke. And the fight was done from there. So, a good win, but, we'll see. I'm excited to fade that guy when he's in the UFC. And now, moving on to the main event of the evening. I've calmed down a bit after this one. I think that I don't want to give a completely biased take here. But What are we doing, man? What did this prove for women's MMA tonight? You guys know me. To put it lightly, I'm very critical of women's MMA. What did this show us tonight? Like, what did this show us? Bella MIR comes in. You've heard it before. It's a minus 6,000 favorite. Minus 6,000. Number one, I don't think anyone ever stepping into a one-on-one cage fight should have those odds. Number two, it's women's MMA. Bella MIR hasn't fought MMA in probably like 5 years. She goes out there in UFC BJJ, gets a couple second round finishes, so this one was obviously going past round one. That was kind of a layup at plus 250. But, bro, I mean, what kind of look does that give UFC BJJ? That she is one of the better fighters, and she got every takedown stuffed. She maybe got one, a kind of judo throw in the third that like half got her on the ground. Apodaca is a Muay Thai specialist and was able to stand up from every takedown and reverse a few takedowns. Apodaca wins 29-28, and all three judges gave Bella MIR the first round. Why? What did she do in the first round? She was getting damaged. She was getting takedown stuffed. There was nothing on the feet. There was no presence on the feet. Absolute pillows for hands, and she was mostly out of range the entire time anyway. The second round was a 10-8. We got to start giving out 10-8s, man. Apodaca had her on the back foot against the cage for the entire round, had her absolutely bloodied and battered, and then was able to stuff all of her takedowns. Round three, Bella MIR was just grabbing for a foot after her coaches told her, go for wrestling. You're down 2-0, man. Like, or maybe it's 1-1. So again, if Bella MIR took that third round, like same thing as last week, Saturday rather. If she takes that third round, you're telling me she wins the fight? What? So she was grabbing for the feet, her getting her head stuffed into the canvas nonstop, getting elbows, punches thrown from the top. And you have a combat athlete who's raised from the cradle in MMA, from the cradle in wrestling. She's an Olympic champion in wrestling in UFC BJJ. I don't know about champion. I think she won a couple in UFC BJJ. Raised by a UFC heavyweight father. Again, a very accredited wrestler. And you have a girl on the other side who's getting absolutely fed to you. This fight is built so you can get a layup and get into the UFC. Dana said this is the only fight he's ever been biased on. He wanted Bella MIR in the UFC. So in comes Alex Apodaca, who was a gymnast until what, 8 years old, did she say? 10 years old? Who was a gymnast. Someone told her she should get into fighting, and she beats the fuck out of you for 3 rounds. I don't think Alex Apodaca is any good. I think she's pretty trash. I think this was a garbage showing for women's MMA. It was pretty sad to see. But she gets the win over Bella MIR pretty decisively. Again, I guess it came down to the third round, but I thought she won 30-26. I think this was an embarrassment, and to have this on a main stage after last Tuesday, we get an absolute war main event going in and getting the best knockout we've ever seen on Contender Series, potentially. To this, it was just a nothing fight. You got female RDR versus mini Pekka Bella MIR, and I said I calmed down after this one. I lost money on it, but that's just not what this is about, man. Minus 6,000 odds going into this, an absolute layup fight. It was supposed to be an absolute layup, and Bella MIR goes out there and embarrasses her family name. A 29-28 unanimous. I think it was 30-26, but you know. We'll see what Apodaca does in the UFC, but man, we should never see Bella MIR inside the cage ever again. She did not know how to throw a punch. She did not know how to close the distance. She didn't even look like she knew how to get takedowns, which is supposed to be her specialty. I understand it's different in MMA, but I mean, Apodaca is a Muay Thai specialist. Obviously, she's probably been training takedown defense for this entire camp, but bro, you're kind of expected to know how to get a takedown at minus 6,000. So you had Apodaca laughing at the end of the fight, gets the decision win and gets into the UFC. I mean, what else needs to be said about this one, man? We go from one of the best Dana White's Contender Series into kind of a stinker. I mean, there's a lot of finishes. I'm happy about that. Always happy to see finish on this one, but the ending was surely a stinker. And a couple guys got contracts that I didn't think deserved contracts, but man, I'm excited. We'll see what they do in the UFC. This weekend coming up, we got the China card. I'm sorry, y'all. I am not getting up at 3 a.m. for this thing. It just has no interest to me. There's nobody in anywhere near title contention besides the main event. And bantamweight's already kind of locked up by Merab getting the title shot next, and then O'Malley following up here shortly when Yen destroys Merab. But man, exciting night. I'm excited to see some of these guys, but just a weak ending. Yeah, that's about it, man. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.